DeJounte Murray being traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't think that's being talked about enough about how big of a trade it is for New Orleans. I think they still need to move Brandon Ingram for sure because I feel like him and Zion are kind of getting in each other's way. Brandon Ingram is not exactly a three-point shooter. He wants to get downhill, wants to get to his mid-range game, at times post up and do his whole turnaround. While his game is effective, it shrinks the floor when it comes to a guy like Zion who needs space to really operate down low. I think trading Brandon Ingram is the last thing that the Pelicans probably need to do to really start taking that next step. But getting DeJounte Murray is huge. You got a guy that is just coming off a season where he averaged 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists at the point guard position. He's long, rangy, is underrated on defense. It moves C.J. McCollum back to his natural shooting guard spot. I never thought C.J. McCollum should have been a point guard. He's a natural born scorer. He's really good in that shooting guard position. I think getting DeJounte Murray back on his team really allows C.J. McCollum to get back to that scoring mentality where he was really good in Portland for so many years. But I feel like he was being misused at the point guard position. But now you're fixing that essentially with DeJounte Murray. This guy can get his own shot. He can also set up the offense for you. And I think Zion is really going to benefit from playing with a guy like DeJounte Murray. Not just C.J. McCollum, but definitely Zion. DeMar DeRozan signing with the Sacramento Kings. Again, another underrated move that I don't think gets enough attention. This is the Sacramento Kings taking the next step. You got De'Aaron Fox, you got Malik Monk coming off the bench, a Sixth Man of the Year candidate. But now you add a veteran in DeMar DeRozan, a guy that, again, has the ability to really calm the offense down when things get a little hectic, can get his own basket when he needs to. He's a leader. He's a veteran. He's been through plenty of playoff battles that he can show the young guys who haven't been through as many. Again, you're adding a guy that averaged 24 points a game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and you're dropping him with a really good young core in the Sacramento Kings. This is the veteran piece, I think, that you're upgrading from Harrison Barnes. Not to say that Harrison Barnes isn't a good player, but he's no DeMar DeRozan. This guy can really help the Sacramento Kings take that next step and, dare I say, really compete in a loaded Western Conference. Western Conference has got even tougher, with Murray going to the Pelicans and DeRozan going to the Kings. It was already tough. It was already crazy. But now you add these two guys who are really in really good situations, in my opinion. And I think DeRozan really is going to help the Kings out. He's going to help De'Aaron Fox out as well. The only thing that I slightly get concerned about is that I hope that DeRozan doesn't take away shots from De'Aaron Fox. You still want him to be aggressive. You still want Fox to be himself. But I think offensively this really gives Sacramento that extra punch they need on the offensive end. These guys somehow got their hands on Rob Dillingham out of Kentucky and Terrence Shannon Jr. out of Illinois. These are two explosive, gifted players and scorers on the wing. And they're pretty good defensively as well, especially Terrence Shannon. Terrence Shannon is absolutely explosive. That first step he has is elite. He's a super athlete, can really fill it up scoring-wise. And Rob Dillingham, same thing. He's a primetime scorer. He is difficult to stop when he gets going. You drop these two guys on this Minnesota Timberwolves team, now you're giving Minnesota, who at times I think their Achilles heel was offense at times when Anthony Edwards was on the bench or Karl-Anthony Towns wasn't getting it going. You added two really good players on the offensive end at the wing that can pick up that offensive firepower that I think Minnesota was really lacking last year in the playoffs. Really good defensive team. Minnesota is going to be a top 5 team again next year, especially when they're bringing their core back. But now you add these two rookies who are older rookies. They spend a little bit of time in college, so they're coming in here a little more pro ready than they would have been had they came in as freshmen. These guys can really become an impact more so sooner than later, in my opinion. And again, it's a move that's not being talked about a whole lot. But I think Minnesota definitely got better in the offseason just through the draft and not even through free agency.